noticed this morning on the live that of Randy's that you said your daughter broke her leg. I hope it's, or your granddaughter, I should say. Hope it's not too horribly serious. Well, any broken leg, especially on a toddler, is serious. But I mean, like, I hope it's not a compound fracture or one of those ones that's going to give her a lot of trouble healing.
Launch a symbolic portion of your
I forgot I had my
launch a symbolic portion of your
I forgot sound up on the other my tablet. Hi Georgina, because I was over watching Dorothy on my tablet while I had this one set up um, for the show today here. So I'm just pulling a few odds and end beads and things. Beth requested, hey Heather, that I make rings today, simple rings. So we're going to make a few different styles of simple rings. So I'm just pulling out some odds and end beads here. And I have this big box of Jesse James beads that I've had for a while. It's the Autumn Maple. I figured, hey, Autumn is a good one for right now. So, hey, Beth. Now, the things we made yesterday are dry now. Figured I'd show them to you. And I did find my swivel clasps. So here is our beautiful band circlet I made yesterday. Fits, well, it's hooked, so it's not hooked in the right spot for me. So, but come here, you baby. So it looks like so when you wear it. Ta-da. And I do have earrings on for a second there. I thought I didn't put any earrings on. Most unlike me. If I get dressed, I usually put earrings on. So anyway, that's the circlet. Excuse me. Need to get me a drink of water. And here's our sugar skull hair combs. So those are our things from yesterday, all dried now. And I will price those up and get them boxed. Excuse me. Got a bit of a dry throat there. So anyway, I've got a little pile of beads out. I've got some all different colors of the 20 gauge craft wire from Softwex. I prefer to use 20 gauge for my rings, so we will just get down here on the mat. And first things you're going to need, a ring mandrel. This is my steel one. I have a couple of different ones. I think my plastic one is in with my travel kit because I make them when I'm traveling too. So that's the first thing you're going to need, because without that you can't. Well, you can. You could wrap your ring pieces around anything that's round. It's just that this has a sizer on it. If you look closely, you can see, for instance, this is size 10 here. So this has a sizer on it, so it helps you get the size you want. Let's face it, not everybody has the same size of ring fingers, and I know mine is different. Yeah, mine, I'm not sure if mine's the start of a cold or if it's just still allergies hanging on. We did have a bit of rain, so the smoke is out of the air, but then it drove the pollen out of the trees too. So it's like, ugh, it's not one thing, it's another, right? So My chat is not talking to me here, so let's get it going. There we go. So we need those are the things you need mainly. You need your ring mandrel, your wire. Like I said, I use 20 gauge, beads, and you'll probably need your pliers. Hi, Kimberly. And of course, your cutters. Can't cut your wire without your cutters. These are the wonderful cutters that Heather gave to me. They are Xurons. They're a double flush cutter, so they cut flush on both sides, so you don't have to trim anything. So that's really nice. So let's turn down to the mat, and we can see about getting started with these. So I got some seed beads. I'll show you what I'm going to do with those later. I got this big pretty bead here. It's a glittery bead that was in my autumn maple kit from, this is an old Jesse James kit that I've had for forever. I like that little porcelain bead. I have another one down in there. But if this is too fat if you figure it's too fat to go on your fingers, you can always use something else. Oh, this is a little rounded rose. How cute. And I find that the younger folks love these flowered ones. So I don't want that one. But you can use just about anything on these. I did pull a pearl out. We can make a little pearl one here. This was not from this set. The pearls in this set are huge. See how big these are? So anyway, we're going to decide what we want to make here, or which style, I should say. There are a couple of different really simple ones. The simplest is just bringing your central bead in and then wrapping around it. We can do that with the rose if we feel like it. Then you can do 3 strands with multiple beads. You're always going to do 3 strands, generally. That is what keeps your strength in your band, is by making 3 strands. Now I have some vintage brawn in the 20. I have bare copper. I also have this this blue, and we have some gold. We'll probably start with the bronze. Hey, Carolyn. So we're going to get our little, the end of this is nasty. So you just want to get a length of wire out. I usually just pull out a length. I don't really measure it. We'll see how long this is as soon as I clip this back on and cut it off. But it's just it's not a specific amount that I usually get. It's just whatever comes to hand when I pull it off, so to speak. So this is probably over a foot, and I'm thinking of cutting that end off because it's pretty nasty looking, but it really doesn't matter. Yeah, it's about 14 inches. So I'll get this as straight as I can, but this is a nasty little notch here, and I think I'm going to cut it off. And so we're still at least 13 inches here. So you need to decide what size of ring you're wanting to make. A lot of times when I'm making rings, unless I'm making it for a specific person, I just choose a spot on the mandrel and just work from there. You don't have to, and like I said, unless you're making a specific size. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, you're going to probably find that you are going to need it to go up like 2 sizes to get the size you want. So I'm going to wrap that around my mandrel. See, I've got it 3 times down here across the bottom. And then we're going to put some beads on. You're going to have to... That was interesting. Not even sure what just fell. So we're going to put this on. And you could have put it on before you started wrapping it, but I find I like to do it later rather than earlier. Come on, up you go. Oh, this pearl doesn't like to go around the loops, so maybe we're going to have to do it first. Okay. My other one, my plastic one, actually has a groove in it so that you can put the beads on first and you don't have to worry about having this pop up like this, because it will go right down into the groove, and then you can pull your wire that way. So we have this pearl on here, and then we have to decide, do we want anything else? I put out some beads here. Let's see if we want to put a secondary bead on here. And to do that, you just put this on like here, and then it'll sit. You can have it sit beside like this. Come back up here, you. Now, once you get that on, you have to decide, are you done? Because if you are, now it's time to make sure your beads stay in place. And to do that, this one wants to slide off. You bring your wire up and around whichever bead you're holding. Hold it. Come on, stay in place here. And then we're going to bring our wire through like so. Now, you've noticed I messed up all of the bands here. They're all in different directions now. And that's all right, because we're going to straighten it out later. So this band is now wrapping around this little bead, and I'm going to push it down so it's closer to where my wrap is at right there. Then we're going to pull these over here. Bring this wire over. It's going to come around the pearl and go down through here. Now we're going to pull this up some because it's not near as close to the pearl as I want it to be. So there we go. It's right there. Now I need this wire to duck down some. So because we're using 20 gauge, it's pretty flexible. You can move it around pretty easily. And I want this. Of course, by the time you're finished wiggling everything around, it's not going to be so pliable anymore. But then we have these in place like this, and put them back on the mandrel to straighten everything back up. This wire over here further, so pull it up, push it down on the mandrel pretty tight so that everything's pretty well set again. So now see, I have my band is round again. So now your next thing to do is you need to set these wires good and tight. So you want to wrap these wires around just like you were doing a wire wrap or something. Well, technically, I guess it is a wire wrap. And just get these set in place. You want 2 or 3 wraps. At least. Now this one's sliding down, so I'm going to push it up with my thumb. You could push it up with any tool. If you don't like to use your nails, you could find a tool like a wooden dowel or something that would help push the wires around some. Now see, that one sunk back in again, and I don't want it there. So we're going to put it back on the mandrel and push these wires back up where we want them to be at. Now, you notice I started at a size 10. It's now down to a size 7. That's why I say always start a couple of sizes up from what the size you want. Sometimes you can push these down and make them be a little bit bigger, but not always. So I've got 3 wraps on either side. So we have a choice now. We can cut our wire, and then before we push it down into place, we can, I don't think I have my little piece in here though. Or you can make some little curlicues. Or if you want it even smaller, the more times you wrap this around, or your wire around your wrap here, the smaller it's going to get. But a lot of times anymore, what I do is I put a I put a little little twist at the top and drive it down close to my beads, because it makes a cute little decoration, and then it also means you don't have to worry about so much about the ends of your wire being a little bit sharp, because it's in the into your wires in the curlicue. Okay. Okay. Let's see what we missed while I was talking here. Hey, Dorothy. Hey, Cynthia. You sold a puppy? Oh, just don't know which of them they want. Okay, so this is a very simple little pearl, and this is what they call a miracle bead. I don't know why they call it a miracle bead. Something about the way it's made. But so, like I said, to finish this off, we can either cut it and then my burr cup's not here, so I'd have to use my file, which you have to be careful if you do that, because you don't want to rub too much of the color off. But just cut the wire close to where you want it to end here. It's got a slightly sharp edge, so you want to file it just a little bit. If you have a burr cup, that works best. I have one, but I don't think it's right beside me here. Okay. Then carefully take your pliers, and you want to be careful because you don't want to scrape the color off if this is a colored wire. And just push it down into place. Feel to see if it's sharp. This does not feel sharp right now, but I can feel, so that's good. So we're going to cut the other side off now. I think that's a little longer than I want it. There we go. File it down some. I need to find where I put my burr cup. I don't think I have one here in my toolbox beside me here. Now, most of these wires have a copper base. So I've got bare copper here, so I could file around that one to my heart's content without worrying about whether it is going to scrape color off or not. If we were to use the blue one here, though, we would definitely have to be careful because it would scrape color off it. Oops, and I think I just scraped a little color. But being bronze, it's not a big deal. If you've got tiny nylon jaw pliers, sometimes that would be the better thing to use here. Mine are pretty big, and I don't think mine are regular size. I don't think they'll go in here very well. There we go. So there's our first little ring. Very simple. We did do 2, but as I said, we're now at a size 7 as opposed to where we started at the size 10. So always start your rings a couple of strands up from where you want it. And if you think it needs a little bit more work hardening than what it's got here, you can take your nylon hammer and hammer around the edge a little bit, just to work harden it a little bit. But you probably don't need that because you've been working with it so much to get it to this point that it's already pretty work hardened. So there's our first ring. What would I charge for this one? I don't charge a lot for my rings. This one would probably be, let's see, pearl, little wire. I'd probably charge about $10 for this one. So it'll fit on my little finger, but I got chubby fingers, so this isn't going to fit very well on me. So another one you can do is just the wrap one, which is, well, let's see, do we want to do that one with this, or do we want to do now? I've got one called a triple wrap, which is a little bit tricky. So we'll try that one maybe. This one can go, I'll use the rose for it, for just the regular simple wrap. And then I have one that I do 3, which we can use, which is what I got the seed beads out. But since we're going with fall colors, I may pull the seed beads back and get some of my brown beads out instead. But we're going to I don't want the bronze with this flower. It just will melt right into it. I'm not sure I want to use the blue. The blue would work, but I don't think I want to. Bare copper. What do you think, ladies? Bare copper or gold with our rose? Sit right there so we can see what you look like. That looks pretty good. But so does the gold. So either way, copper. One says gold, one says copper. Come on, somebody break the tie. While we're breaking the tie, I'll see if I can find my burr cup. Oh, looks like Dorothy's going copper. I was sort of thinking copper myself, though the gold looked all right. But that's what fell. All kinds of right over here. I want my burr cup. Okay. Looks like we're going copper. Everybody's going copper. We have 2 golds and 5 coppers. So I guess we're going copper. This is what they call a burr cup, or it's got just a teeny weeny little cup here at the end, which has little ridges in it, which you probably can't see because it's a little tricky to see the little ridges inside the cup. Come on, focus. Oh, I'm going off camera, not on. There we go. Are you going to focus on the cup? No, you're going to focus on the wood. So anyway, it's got little tiny ridges in there, which rubs off the excess. We're going to go with the copper. We got lots of boats for copper. So we want to get about a foot of this out. Yeah. Where's your end? There it is. And again, I'm probably not going to measure. If you guys want to measure, by all means, do it. Where put your cap? There we go. Now, this time, I'm probably going to, well, like I said, I'm not starting at any particular point because I don't really care what size these end up. But if you do want a specific size, you got to go up at least 2 sizes on your mandrel here. So we want to wrap it 2 or 3 times. You want a base of 3 to 4 wraps around the bottom just for the strength. If you're using a bigger size of wire, you don't need to do as many, but I prefer to have at least 3 wraps. I'm going to put the rose on before we get too far. Come on. Because it's going to be difficult around round sloops. So this one's going to go right here. We're going to put her right there. Bring our mandrel back on. Come on. Go back the right way. There we go. And we're going to wrap this around one more time, all the way around. So we have the 3 wraps in the back. And I didn't have that in the right spot. So now I don't have a lot of wire left, as you can see, and that doesn't matter. And I'll show you why it doesn't matter in just a minute. I want a little bit more space over here on this side of wire. So this is probably the simplest way you can make a ring. You can use any bead. This rose works really well because it has a tapered bottom. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take this wire and we're going to wrap it around to this side. And then we're going to take the other one from the other side and wrap it around to this side. Now see, I didn't leave a lot of wire on this side, so it's not going to get a very big wrap, but it does need to just come around. Come on, go through there and wrap over and around. And this one I'm probably going to have to grab with my pliers because I didn't leave that much wire here on this side. So we're just going to bring her around. And this is where we're going to finish this side. But then this side can go, and see, this one is sort of loose. We can tighten this one up. And it's going to go. And you see now we've got a wire on either side of the rose sort of holding it in place. And then this one is going to wrap right here. And because I've got more wire on this side, I probably will just continue wrapping it a little bit. That makes it a little bit asymmetrical because obviously I'm not going to have as many wraps on the other side, but that's all right. Now again, this one I'm going to take my pliers and pull it around some. I want to have a little bit more wrap here on this side. This is bare copper, so we don't have to worry about marring the color off of it because, well, there's no color on it. So now we've got this guy right here, our end, and I'm going to take, what I do with it, there we go, my burr cup, and I'm going to get in here on the end of it, and I'm just going to twist it some. And this takes the extra little burrs and rough spots off the edge of your wire. Okay. Now I'm going to squish that down into place as much over to the other side as I can get it, so this isn't going to be rubbing on your finger on the inside here. Nope, not quite as much as I want there. Yep. Now this is the simplest wrap you can do. You just put your, oop, that didn't cut very well. That went too much that way. Come here. That's better. We'll roll the burr cup on this side. Still a little sharp. Actually, I'm thinking I may need to get a new burr cup. This one is acting like it's a little bit like the ridges have been worn out. Then we want to squish that wire down again so that it's as flat as you can get it on the wires. There we go. Anyway, like I say, this is the simplest. Now this one didn't lose as much size because I didn't wrap it as much on this side. This is the simplest one you can make. It works with any bead. You just have to wrap it around the base of it. And if I'd had a little bit more wire, I might have even wrapped it twice. But that's a really, really simple one. Oh gosh, they're being a little slow, huh? Wherever your drive-through is at, you're at. That was still a little bit rough there. So then again, as I said, if you feel the need, you can take your nylon jaw hammer and give it some taps to work harden the band some. But as I say, this is the simplest way of making a ring. Just put one bead on, wrap it around 2 or 3 times, 4 times if you feel that you need it. Then wrap to one side of your bead and then wrap from the other side to around your bead. And if you have enough wire, you can wrap 2 or 3 times around it to make it really sturdily in place. But this rose is sitting really, really sturdy there, so I'm not worried about it. So so there's ring number 2. 1, 2. This one is a size 7 when we finished it. It went down 2 sizes from where we started. Well, actually, it's close to 7.5 because I did work harden it a little bit. And I think this one ended up with almost a 10. So, and if I wanted to, I could push it probably to get it to be a 10. But yeah, it is. It fits me. So there's the first 2. I think we'll use this for bare copper as well. Now this one I'm going to need a little bit more wire. This is the one I'm going to use to do 3 beads on. And we need more wire because we're going to be doing some different kind of wraps. So go back on there. I know these clips need to be tight, but sometimes they're a little bit too much. Well, let's measure how much I decided to pull off this time. 12. So this one is about 18 inches I pulled off here. And what we need to do with this one is we're going to take and not really quite bend it in half, but we're going to get so we know where the middle is down here. And then we're going to put these beads on. We got 1, 2, and this one is going to go from the other side. 3. Down you go. So now we have these 3 down here in our little V we made here. And we're going to take it and put it on our mandrel. I'm going to put this at a size 10. Yeah, we'll put it at a size 10. And we're working with wire again, so I'm trying to go off camera. So now we're going to hold these right up here while we push this wire this direction and this one this direction. Now, as you can see, that leaves me 2 wires behind on the mandrel. We want more. So we're going to bring this one around again, and then we'll bring this one all the way around. Now we've got a 4-piece base down here, which is just what I wanted. So bring you over here. Now we have these set here, and they're trying to wiggle around, which they do. Always a fun thing. And we're set more this direction. So I'm going to wiggle it around some so that when these come around, they're more in the same place. Though actually these don't have to go all the way around down there. So right here is fine. So now what we need to do here, this one's a little more tricky because it's going to try and go elsewhere from where you're putting it. See how the beads are already leaving? But what you want to do here is these beads that are coming from the sides here, not the beads, the wires that are coming from the sides here. Now hold these as best as possible. They're going to try and leave. You want to bring this one around this first bead here. Bring this one. We got to get our bead back up there. We're going to push it up to where that one is. Now we want to take this wire, go through between these two. Get back up there. We're going to go between these two and push it down between here to make a wrap there. You want to go down and stay there. Now, instead of going all the way to the other side like we have in the other ones, we're going to take our wire that we wrapped right here around this bead, and we're just going around this bead. Go through. Now we want to get that a little tighter. It's loose right there. So now we want to pull her up tight. So we've now got this loop around this one bead like this. See it? Then we're going to go up here with this one, and it's going to go up and around and through here. Now, the 2 side beads are what's going to what's going to hold our first one here in place, the middle one. So we're got to push these down as much as we can. We don't want them coming off of here. So we'll push it down. Same with this side. Push it down good in between. And then we're going to wrap these like we normally wrap the ends. Up here. Go through again. Now, like I said, this ring is sort of fiddly. It's going to try and go everywhere else because you're not really holding this middle bead with anything. It's your side beads that are holding the middle one in place. So up. Now, I always do use my thumbnails because I have pretty strong thumbnails when I'm doing wire work. If you can't use your nails or you don't want to because you're going to mar them all up, find something that's small enough to do your wrapping, your bending and pushing for you. Say you have, what are they called? Orange sticks for your nails. Those usually have a small enough end that you can do this. Now see how it's all wonked out again? So we got to put it on our mandrel. Get our wires back sort of in place here. This one again is trying to escape. See how the wire's coming up? We want it down over the edge there. So now we're going to just wrap these up like we have been the other ones. The more you wrap it, the smaller your ring is going to get. Remember when we were kids and our boyfriend would give us his class ring or something, and it was always too big, so we had to wrap it up with some yarn or something to make it smaller. This is the same concept, except for it's wire. One, two, three, four, five, six. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you had a long enough piece of wire, you could wrap it all the way around if you wanted to. But I generally don't cut that much wire. So there's our 3 bead ring. And we have to, now if you want this a little flatter down here, you can always come inside where, see how there's, I don't know if you can see it. There's 2 wires sitting in here. See if I can get it so you can see them better. There we go. You can take these, this one's already spread to that side quite a bit. You can take this with your, well, if you're a stick or your nail, like I use my nail, and push it to the side. Actually, come here, you. Just push it to the side like so. And that allows your beads to come down into it a little bit more if you want them to not be sitting so high. So you push them down into place. It also adds a little bit more decoration to the sides if you want to do that. There we go. Cut these ends off. For some reason, that one always seems to want to get a little sharp. So if you have one of these, you just put it right over the top of your end of your wire and just twist it a few times. That's still sharp. As I said, I don't think this burr cup is the best anymore. I've had it for a number of years. So I am just going to get my file and give this a few little, get some of this sharp off of the edge here. And then we want to push those wires down. I try to squish them so they're a little lower than their wraps above. That way they sort of meld into the other wires, and so they're not sticking up. So there is that one. As you can see, we pulled the wires to the sides here to add a little bit more decorativeness to it. And then we're going to push it back onto the mandrel. And give it its taps. The taps does one other thing. It makes sure that your band is sitting relatively flat here so that it's not a big bunch of wire. So there's ring number 3. Do you need to start small when making rings? Yeah, exactly. That's what we did. Oh dear, a spiral fracture? Eee, that's a twisting fracture. How did she do that? Do you need to start small when making, oh, do you mean get it? No, you start 2 sizes too big from what you want to go to. So there's our 3 rings. This is our 3 wrap. This one's tricky because it doesn't, they don't want to stay in place. This one was the simple wrap with just 2 beads. And this is the simplest one with just the wrap around the 1. So there's 3. Got a few more beads set out here, but we'll see. The next one I wanted to do was one of my favorite ones that I don't make very often because it's a little bit tricky here. And I think I'm gonna take these multicolored spring-like colors back out, and we're gonna go for something more fall-like. I was thinking I had some more multicolored sets, but would appear not. Looks like we're just all single colors other than that one, but we'll just mix some. Sounds like the hubby's home. He's only working a few hours a day. Like I said, he's an essential worker, so he only gets whatever, you know. So anyway, we're going to mix a few seed beads up here. put these to the side here. So then we're going to just get some of the various colors of seed beads out here that I brought. And we'll just sort of mix them up so they're a mix. I'm liking this copper wire with most of the things, so we're going to continue with the copper wire. This is another one that I want to have plenty of wire for, so we're going to just cut off a little over, you know, about 16 inches probably. We're just going to then cut this. I put the mandrel away. Silly thing. That's the thing I need the most, right? So what I'm going to do here is we're going to put this on here. I'm going to wrap one. Oops, get them even, Rose. Okay, there we go. Just going to wrap this one. But in the meantime, we're going to put like 5 or 6 seed beads on here. 2, 3. And I'm not paying attention to what colors I'm putting on. This is just one of those multicolored things that whatever shows up, shows up. So we'll go with, I think 5 should be plenty. So that we're going to slide that up here to the top here. Then we're going to put some on this other side as well. Though I do not want 2 colors beside each other. So I have 2 grays here. So I'm going to drop that one down. I don't want that one right away. Come on. Now this one is going to be the central one, I think. So we're going to put 7 beads on it. So there's 4, 5. Now these are just regular check glass seed beads, so they aren't all this a uniform size. They're just whatever. So this one then is going to sit right here beside this. Down, go up and around. Now I'm going to bring this wire around again, except for the seed bead came with, and I don't want it to do that. Okay, stay up there. Now, this is the 3rd wire. I should have made that first one shorter. There we go. Now, we're going to put 5 on this other side here. Oh, come on. Come on. That feels like it has something in it, maybe. Doesn't want to go on at all. and around again. Now we're going to try and hold these sort of in place as we bring our wires around. Come back around here. Oh, you're the other one. Come here. Okay. Now around here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our wire and we're going to bring it around to the other side like so. It's not going to stay all the way like that, but then we're going to bring this one, bring them tight, and over here. Now we'll pull these off. And our wires get back up there. Escaping beads. Okay, we're going to just take this one. We're going to bring it around right here, just like we have with the other ones. This is our set wire, so to speak. It's going to keep the beads in place from rolling all over the place. Come up and around. Okay. Now, because these have all decided they want to go over here, we have to push them all back up into place. Come on, all of you, back up here. Oops, there's one more still escapee down there. Oh, isn't that funny? I got yellow all at the top. So then this piece comes over. Look down, make sure you have all the beads in here before you do this set one. And this little yellow one keeps trying to escape. Go up there, all the way up. Okay. Bring you in and over and through. And it looks like we're loose, so somebody is not in the right tightness here. Let's see. You are this one. You are this one. So pull you up. Let's see about you. Let's go over here to you. Push you up into place here. And so this one sort of resembles a cocktail ring when you have it all put into place properly. So push everything up into place. We're going to put her back on our mandrel so we can get her tightened up good here. We'll pull her up good and tight on both sides. Oops, banging things around here, aren't I? So now we just do again what we've been doing, and that is just to take our wire, and this one feels like it's a little loose, so I'm going to take it and tighten it with my pliers. And yes, that will sometimes mar up your wire, but this is the bare copper, so I don't have to worry about knocking the color off. So now this is one of those these rings that's going to got quite a bit smaller, as you can see as we made it. So go up, back up there. You're out of place. You need to be way up there. Okay. Wrap. I don't remember what size I started at, but as you can see, this ring is going to be much smaller than some of the other ones we made. And that is because we put all of the beads on in it. So it took up a lot of space to do that. Just like when you're making a bracelet or something, your space is getting taken up with your beads. So let's push this down on here. I'm going to hit this now because the bands are trying to separate out wrong here. So go. Push it down. into place there. Bring it back up. And I think I'll wrap one more time around. Trim the wire. Now, since my burr cup hasn't been working with beans, I'm going to just take my file and file any sharp stuff on this side, at least that's going to sit into your fingers. And then we're going to push it into place. I make it look so easy. Oh no, she fell in the cafeteria. You start. I have, but it's been years. I'd have to remember how to do it. Or if I do remember how to do it, I know it's a bunch of it. It's just a bunch of loops and loops and loops. You twist around itself. But I can never remember how to start where to start, whether you start with the rows or start with the band. And let's face it, you got to have both. So there is my seed bead ring, which sits like so. Hi, Dawn. How you feeling? Yeah, pain pills are your friend, especially this day, because you're on day 3, aren't you? This is the worst day. I'm going to put these in a little dish. I will separate them back out later. So there are the one with the 3 bands with seed beads, one with 3 stones, but you wrap it on these 2 to make almost like a spacer bead between with the wire. This is just a simple wrap one, and this is even a more simple wrap one. Now, you can make a 3-bead one without doing it this way, just by putting the beads right beside each other and then doing a wrap. So, I'm not sure I want the copper with this one, though. This bead is a little bit... Let's try the gold. Yeah. Hey, Sid. Oh. Hey, Brandy. Okay. Have a nice nap, Dawn. Sometimes sleeping is the best thing for you. So we got a big strand of gold out here. I'm going to make this one we're going to do this one with 3 beads, but not wrapping them separately like that. but they're going to put this sparkly thing on first. No, we're not. I want these two. Do I want to use the porcelain? These are pretty little porcelain beads. Sure, why not? No, I don't. I think I'd rather have one of these type. Let's see if I can find another one of these. Ooh, that's pretty, but not what I want. I may have to dump this to find what I want. There's another miracle bead. Is this? Yes, we'll use that. Here, you guys, go back in here. So what I'm going to do with this one is we're going to drop our pretty little piece down here. And yes, you can use spacers on your rings if you want to. I have done it before, but down you go. Okay, here we go, down here at the bottom. We're going to get it on our mandrel. I haven't decided. Like you said, I'm not really paying attention to how big I'm making these or how small. So we'll just... I wish this one had a groove like my plastic one does, because it's really nice when you're making them and you have the groove for your beads to sit into. It's really helpful. So we're just gonna wrap. Oh, good mess. Wrap this around, wrap you around. Oh, and I cut more wire than I needed on this one, but that's all right. Better too much than not enough, right? Nothing like making a mess. Come here, guys. Okay, so now this one is going to be a simple wrap like most beads, like most you do. You just take this, bring it around your beads like so, and settle it there. Do the same with this side. Bring it over and settle it here. Around. Now we'll take the mandrel out. Now this is they're going to be squished together like so. Your wire is going to hold it all together. Now this one only has 3 bands. It doesn't have to have, well, no, I have 4 in here. I wasn't sure. So we're going to take this one from this side, and it's going to go over all of them. And I've got this longer than I actually wanted it to be. Get back up there, you little turd. And pull it up. Down. Okay. Now push you guys all over there. Bring this one on this side. Make sure they're all where you want them there. And then we're gonna nope, you're too low. Get up there. Now, one thing here, when I do these like this, I generally tend to pull out my side wires here some so that these can sit down a little better. And then you have the decoration of the side wire coming around it. That's this one. Where are you? Out here. There we go. So you need to go up. You're in the way. Now we're just going to do our wraps. One's already there, but we're going to land on it the way I'm going here, and I don't want to land on it, so we got to stop. Hold and go. Here we go. Now this has decided it wants to poke up. See how it's standing up here? I'm going to have to make it sit down in a minute. So we're going to take this wire, the outer wire that's underneath the band, and pull it to this side over here. And we're going to do the same with the two middle ones when we get this one, these side ones out some. Now we're going to go in and, yeah, there's 4. They're just bunched right beside each other right there, and I don't want that. So go in here. Okay. Oops. Cut it out, or else you're going to damage your wire. These are very tightly down in here, so I'm trying to push them out some. There, that one went much easier. But these two are sitting right over the top of each other, the middle two, making it a little more difficult to get them to separate out here. And why I want them to separate, actually I think that one goes that way, is because once I get them separated, I can pull them out further, and then we can let the beads set down inside the wires as they're pulled apart. They want to go the same way, and I don't want them to go the same way. Let's see if I can get hold of one of these and pull it sideways. Nope. They want to snap the wire. It's a good thing I don't know how coated this one is. It's underneath, so I'm not too worried about it marring it up, but I don't want to do a mess of it either. So there we go. Now we got them more separated. There we go. Okay. See, now I've sort of made a little basket for the beads to sit down in here. You need to go over this way just a little bit more. So see, there's a little basket for the beads to sit around in there somewhat. Now we'll have to decide how we want to finish these up. This one has wrapped around the one above it, the loop has, so we're going to fix that. Okay. Now this one I'm going to put spirals on. So I want to cut them about here. Okay, this one's longer, so I'm going to cut a little bit more off. So now we're going to make some little tiny spirals here. Let's see, where's my, there they are. We're going to, and in this way, you don't have to worry about the ends being overly sharp because it's going to be inside your spiral. So now I've left this much wire because I'm going to take this spiral and I'm going to twist it up, and I'm going to put it right at the base of this particular bead so that it pushes it up to the gold one, gives us a little decoration there as well. Now, if you wanted, I could have done a little bit more, less spiral with, or used a little more bead wire and pushed this bead down and brought this spiral and put it here in the middle. But I didn't, so. Put it back on the mandrel. Push it down into place. This bead stands up a little higher than I would have liked it. Probably would have been better with a coin bead there, but I didn't have one with me, so. There we go. There's ring number 5. So we have 4, 5 simple rings here. They're a little titchy when you're putting them together because you have to hold your beads, and that's the most difficult part with some of them, is just making sure you've got your beads held easily, which is easier said than done. So, is it really bad? Well, you know, it oh, probably a little at first, but I mean, it's like any surgery, it hurts. But there's our little smallest one. So here's our five rings. So pretty simple, not too hard. The biggest part is simply, like I say, holding the beads in place. This one was being a problematic to me because it didn't want to stay. My basket didn't want to stay in place real well, but because I would like the beads down a little lower, but part of that is because of the bead I used. If I'd used a coin bead, it would have sat down quite a bit more. So this little pearl one is cute. But anyway, let's turn back up for a second. And excuse me, there's our 5 rings. Let's see. 1, that was the last one we made. 2, actually I put that on my smallest finger. That's the smallest, and I put it on my biggest finger. Silly me. Let's go over here. This is the biggest one. 3, the triple one. 4 is our pearl. And then there's 5 is actually, I think this one was the biggest one, wasn't it? The rose. 5 rings. I hope that helped you guys make some rings. As I have said to Beth, I have done the twisted wire one to make it into a rose, but it's been many years since I've made one of those, and I would have to find my notes and study those on how to make them from when I was taught. And never can tell. I may do that one of these days. But we have our 5 rings here that we made today. And they're simple, and I hope that they helped with the folks who wanted to learn how to make rings. Hope that helped. So wear all my rings together here. Excuse me. Stack. So anyway, I hope you guys had fun making these with me today, and I'll have to go through my notes, and maybe we can make some more intricate ones at some later time. Right now, we just made these. The ring. Yeah, I've had that happen with some things. It's a pain in the rear, isn't it, Carolyn? Oh, that's so pretty. I really like that. And then leave without it, even though you're not charging a lot for it. Like this one, I'll probably charge with the rose, probably charge 8. This one I said was going to be 10. And this one will probably also be 10. And then we will probably, I don't care for this one that much, so it'll probably be 10 as well. And I might make this one 12. What size are they? Let's see. I didn't really pay a lot of attention to size as I was making them. Like I said, you need to go up at least 1 to 2 sizes from the size you want it to be. And if you get it too big, you can always wrap more wire around the base and you can change the size that way. The rose is a 10. So this one is a 10. This one that I put the spirals on is an 8. This triple one is a 9. The pearl is a 7. And I believe the seed bead one is a 6. Yes, it is. Now you got to remember, when you're making handmade stuff like this, even though it says that's its size, it's probably going to be off just a little bit. Look at that. We started with 10 and went all the way 10, 9, 8, 7. Well, it's not quite a 10. It's really, really close, but it's not quite. And the three bead one is actually a little bit bigger than a 9 because it's sliding past it. Ta-da! See, this one is trying to come down a little bit lower, so it's a little bit bigger than a 9. This one's a little bit smaller than a 10 down here on the bottom. So anyway, 5 simple rings with some different ways to make each one. I hope you enjoyed making all these with me. I think we're going to be done for the day. If you are one of the members, remember today is Members Live at 1:30. So I will be back on at 1:30 for Members Live. And we'll see you all then. Or anyway, the members, we will see them then. And if you're not a member and would like to be a member, it costs $4.99 a month. If I do any recorded videos, you get them before everybody else. And you have the members live on, yes, they are pretty autumn colors, aren't they? That's what I was going for when I chose them. My next show is in less than 2 weeks. Let's see, it's the 2nd. It's in 10 days. So I'm trying to get some stuff made for it. The rings will probably go with me. So anyway, that is our rings, 5 of them, and pretty simple to make. Like, what, we've been here an hour and a half, and we made 5 rings in that hour and a half. So this is one thing that I sometimes do take. Okay, Heather. And this is one thing I do take, like some wire and some beads and stuff with me when I have nothing going on. I might make some rings at the shows so that it gives me something to do if things are quiet. And that is one thing, they're easy to make. You can do that. They don't take a lot of time. 15-20 minutes for these simple ones, and so that's one thing you can do easily. Anyway, we've been on an hour and a half. I'm going to go. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and I'll see the members at 1:30. Again, if you want to be a member, it's $4.99 a month. There is a link to join in the description of this video. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
You got some of your chocolate peanut butter ice.